Hey everyone, it's Amanda again. It's time for part 2 of June Patreon Q&A. And we are going to start with Annabelle's question because I totally screwed up. But today I have written everyone's questions down, separated them so I don't leave a part of a question out. Okay, so Annabelle says, it feels like the RV is getting close. I'm going to combine Jack's question in there too because he wants to know when the financial reset's going to happen. And then Annabelle wants to know if we'll receive guidance around what projects to invest in so we can assist in the best possible way for the all. So, if, when, and what to do with the money? Are we going to get guidance on what to do with the money? They're saying it's already in progress. It's already in progress. There are some key players who are trying to get things pushed through in different ways. And they're telling me about one of the ways. It's not the only kind of way. I don't know if you guys, especially those not in the U.S., well, even the ones in the U.S. have probably, I don't know if you've heard of Andrew Yang. He's running for president in 2020, and his tagline is humanity first. He's advocating for he used to call it something different, but it's like a freedom dividend or something. It's $1,000 a month for every American who's 18 or over. And there's a lot of, he explains the policy around that, where it's coming from, and all that kind of stuff. So that would be just one way to get, more money in our hands so that we don't have to struggle. But they're telling me he's not the only person. There are so many people around the world trying to show humanity that it is possible to get, I don't want to say redistribute the wealth, but if we can, all do our jobs and make a profit and use, the ones making the hugest profit, if they, they already contribute to charities, so let's make humanity the charity, and let's there are enough big players around the world to spread this wealth around to everyone on the planet, without taking away or hurting the big corporations or the people earning this money. It's not about taking away. It's not like a Robin Hood syndrome. It's not about taking away from the rich and giving to the poor. It's about spending that excess wisely, because it both benefits humanity, and in return it will benefit those who have the wealth. I feel like they're talking mostly about corporations, and it may be because the people that hold the most wealth own large corporations, and they have the ability to do more. They just need to look around at the people who have the suggestions on how they can do it more effectively. So I'm not feeling like this is in a way, it could be an overnight thing. Like, if Andrew Yang gets elected and he enacts a law that says, boom, $1,000 a month for every American, when? That's overnight, basically. But I mean, it'll take some time to get it all into place. But they're saying it's in progress. I mean, it's coming from so many different angles and so many different places around the world. Everyone is focused on this right now. It is going to happen, and it is going to happen soon. It's just a matter of figuring out what way we think will best accommodate that distribution. And again, we're not talking about taking money away. We're talking about redistributing the money they're already giving to the max benefit of all. What was the question? See, I lose it. Okay, so what projects are we going to invest in? Are they going to help us figure out what to invest in? Okay, already they're saying yes, just like they're helping. It's like there's already an energetic on the planet that is an energetic. It's like thought waves to give suggestions. It's already there. We just have to tap into it. So you could even right now imagine that you had $1,000 or whatever a month extra, 2,000, whatever you want to imagine, whatever you feel is true that you're going to get in your country, in your area uh, for the RV, basically. I mean, we're calling it like a financial reset. It's just going to be a different way of dealing with money, a different way of dealing with money. Not so much a reset as an evolution. So if you imagine right now that you already have that and you're expecting that money to be sitting there, whether it's a big lump sum for your lifetime or you get it every month or whatever, they already have thought. They're already sending thoughts. They're already available to you if you want to tap into that would be best for you personally to help with. And it's based on your interests and your skill set, what you spend that money on and what brings you joy. So, for example, if you love helping children and there are children in your area that need help, and because they are physically disabled, and that is your joy, is to work with physically disabled kids, then that is probably what you're going to spend your money on. And there are enough people in this world that everyone will be helped, everyone will be served. They're telling me about my area and how this is happening right now. This is not happening in terms of money per se. It sort of is because we have a free food pantry, and I posted this on my Facebook page. So if we're friends on Facebook, you've already seen this. But we have a free food pantry in our community of we have like 3,000 people here, and we have a lot of people living at or below poverty level. Just because we're in, I guess it's because we're in agricultural. We're not right near the city. We're not in a city. We're kind of far away out in farmland area. But people are being inspired to create these free things. There's I'm being bombarded with all the things my community is already doing, that are very New Earth like. The free food pantry, which is not just like a little box. The little free libraries are these little boxes people put in their front yard and they put books in them. And now there are little free food pantries that have little food in them. This is like an alcove of a building. And you walk in that alcove, and someone has volunteered, donated their time and materials to build shelves inside this alcove, and people have donated coolers and storage things. And so people in our community just go and put canned food, cereal, rice, non-perishable, shampoo, whatever, soap, stuff like that. We just stock it, and local churches stock it. And the churches aren't even like, they're just, they don't, it's non-denominational. Like, it's not even about what religion you are. It's just like, people need things. Let's go put the things out there for the people who need them. So that's one thing. And we have a pie lady in our community. She's known as the pie lady. I can't remember her actual name is Bernice something. Um, she loves making pies. And guess what? She makes hundreds of pies for, like for Father's Day. She made a ton of pies and she just like went all over town giving fathers a pie. And that's what brings her joy. And that brings everybody joy now. I've never been the recipient of a pie, but I still love that she's the pie lady and she lives here and she just makes pies for people and gives them to people. It's awesome. So that helps. And that's not really money. That's just something she enjoys. I mean, yeah, she has to pay for the material or the stuff to make pies, but and then we have another lady who, you know, she's already swamped with her own kids and her own life that she has to do. But she has a Facebook page and she takes donations of clothing and she takes pictures of them and posts them on her page and she has people come over and it's free. It's a totally free clothing exchange if you have some to donate or if you need some of a certain different size, especially for kids. She's just available and sitting there to take in all this stuff, organize it, and take pictures of it and get it out to our community. So if anybody needs clothes, we've got clothes, food, and desserts on top of all the free stuff that our city does for us, like fireworks or whatever. So what they're saying is we can already do this. It's just going to get bigger. So with access to more funds, we'll be able to go bigger with the things we're already doing. And the things we're going to be doing with this money is going to be whatever you're interested in. If you want to help disabled children, or if you want to help the people who are struggling emotionally, or if you want to like clothes, or if you love shoes, you can do something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's what you're interested in, and there's so much diversity on our planet that every need is going to be taken care of, even pies. So cool. All right, Sean, I forgot to ask, can we use the sun to help with third eye activation? I'm feeling a yes, but let me get some details. They're telling me something about it's not the sun per se, but it's your ability, not your ability, your desire to activate. Then you go out and you connect with the energies that do activate it. They're always present. It's your desire and your intention that allows it. So yes, you can use the sun, or even at this stage they're saying that you can just use your intention to activate it. Just say, I intend to activate my third eye, and I wish to tap into the energies that will allow me to strengthen that ability within myself. But they're also saying there are some people who resonate really strongly with the sun. And so if you resonate really strongly with the energies of the sun, absolutely use that as your it's funny, they gave me two words and they conflict in my mind: anchor point and jumping off point. So anchor the energy and then jump up to increase that energy. Okay. That was strange. Okay. I hope that helped. Mark, I heard that 2038 is the culmination of the event to the new fourth density Earth. Is this so? 2038, culmination. Fourth density. They're telling me we're on the new Earth already. We just don't know it because right now we have the ability to morph what looks like the Earth we grew up on into the vision we have. That makes it less jarring for us and for everyone, really. I'm asking, does that mean we're not going to have the flash or the, a really delineated thing that shows us that we are there? Not for the new Earth part, but for the removal of negative polarity, we will. But that doesn't come until what? They're saying the 2038 mark is for the removal of the negative polarity. So what we're doing, as this is the plan as of right this second, and you know how things change. We are going to manifest the new, the new humanity first, sort of, I hate to steal his tagline, mindset. It is going to amplify and all the systems will change. The consciousness of the planet does not agree to the way things have been. So we are. They're saying we're on the new Earth. So I'm asking everybody or us, the people I'm talking to, like light workers. The ones who are not awake will create their own sort of hell for themselves. They will perpetuate the old Earth ways because they don't know they're creating. They don't know that this is a new density. It looks like has been removed to such a degree that we can now use our ability to manifest the new Earth that we want, the systems that we want, and the way of living that we want. There are still people who aren't awake to the fact that they can create their own lives. They haven't. They don't understand how to remove their programming. They don't. But as they look around and see the increase of the new Earth-like things that we have, that we're creating right now, and that we will exponentially, see more of in the next 2 or 3 years, they will wake up to that fact. They will process out their junk, and they will do it a lot faster than we had to do it. And so we're getting everybody to the stage of new Earth manifesting their own realities in the way they want them to be, personally and as a collective on the planet. I'm not saying 2038. I'm seeing more like 2036 or 2026. It's kind of, it's one of those things where it's not. The collective changes its mind. There are so many of us that we change our mind so often that it's fluctuating. So I'm asking if the 2026 or 2036 is when removal of negative polarity, is that an actual thing? Not the full removal, but a big chunk of it, like maybe it looks like half of it. How does that work? So removal of half of negative polarity would look like the removal of crime, the removal of hate. There would still be lesser negative polarity, such as the feeling of being unsure about an outcome, or shyness, or hopefulness in a scared sort of way, but not true fear. But it will be the lesser things will still remain, but the major ones like hate and violence will be gone. That'll be gone. And anger. But we'll still have the minor. They're saying the ones that we consider the sweeter negative polarity aspects. And then it looks like if we adjust to that and if we agree to let those go also, then we will also let go of those. Maybe it's the 26, half of those go, and 36 if we want the rest of them go. They're saying it's very up in the air because we haven't even gotten to manifesting the new Earth idea yet. So we got to get to manifesting that, I guess, if we want the next step. Oh, you said fourth density Earth. I'm assuming that's the same thing. Let me check. Well, they said they represented the stages, so that should be sufficient. Okay. All right, so Jack, is now a good time to buy a house? It's as good a time as any, they say. There's not going to be any catastrophe or anything that would make you regret that unless what? Unless you did something that would harm yourself or your family financially, which would be spending more than you have or spending money that you need for something else. So, as far as a big picture, no, there's no problem with buying a house right now. As long as you plan on staying in it for a while. That's my 3D level, me personal advice. I wouldn't buy a house if you plan on selling it in the next 5 or 10 years because you've got to let it build up equity. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, update on the event. Okay, this is going to be big, so let me get comfy here. Update on the event. When's it happening? Okay, pre-events that would signal the main event is near. Okay, so we just talked about New Earth and the event, the flash, and the removal of negative polarity. I'm not seeing a flash anymore. I'm seeing it more as we've been gradually rolling it out, and we have been seeing smaller versions of the things everybody said they were going to see, like the colors and the sky and the clouds rolling in and the white. Some people see that sort of thing. But they're saying the way we're really going to know it is in how our culture changes. And they're saying we have to look for it, because if we look at all the bad, we're not going to notice the good things that are starting to grow. So they're saying focus on the little good things, and you'll see the progress we're making on the event. Well, does that mean no main event? There will be within yourself an event, and you will recognize it because your heart feels so open and joyful that it feels like you can't contain that. I mean, you can, and it feels wonderful, but it's so much bigger than you felt ever, ever, ever. It's exponentially bigger than any joy you've ever felt. And when you feel that burst of heart energy, love, unconditional acceptance of everything and love of everything and everyone, when you feel that huge burst, that is your personal event. How do you know when that's close? They're saying you can create it by focusing on love. Just focusing on every time you see something or experience something that um, makes you want to tear up because it's so beautiful. Anchor that in your heart, and then you're closer and closer, and then make it bigger each time. Each time you notice it, sit with it and amplify it. Make it bigger until, you know, one day when you feel it, and you will know when that's it. You will know when that's it, and you have transitioned your consciousness past the event point. It looks like a horizon line, and whether you come up to it or stay back here is up to you. But you can get up to it, and then once you hit that point, you're over here, and you won't go back. There's no going backwards. That's just a visual they gave me to help explain it. Uh, I keep looking for a big flash or something, but I'm not seeing anything like that now. I'm just seeing that we're already rolling in it. Like we're already here. We just have to tap into that and create now. Just tap into it and create what we want. And believe. We have to believe. We can't just go, oh, the event's not here. We can't do anything. They're saying it is here, and you're already there, and all you have to do is start believing that you make a difference. And the more of us that realize that we do make a difference, then the bigger and the faster it goes. And then we start focusing on really looking at the things that we've created. Hope that doesn't disappoint anybody. I think it sounds good though, to know that we already can do it. Like it's already here, we're already manifesting it, and we just have to continue focusing on uh, the little things we can do to make everything the way we want it to. GcMAF, does it really work, and what's the best source? This is the something to do with immunity. It's something that we already have the ability to do, but it gets lost in people. And then I guess cancer or other illnesses are they just take off in our bodies because we don't have, our bodies are not in the energetic or physical state to remove them. So, is it a real thing? Does it really work? Yes, it can work in those that are deficient. If you're not deficient, and it's not going to help you, you may have other issues that cause it not to work. There's a whole big other piece here. About holding the frequency of light, not focusing on negative polarity, not giving into fear. Anger and hate are fear at their core, if you trace them backwards. Why am I angry with this person? Because of this. Well, why are you angry of this? Well, because of this. Well, why that? Well, because of this. If you go back enough, you'll find that it's due to a fear about usually what people will think about you, or not feeling good enough, which is also worrying about what other people think, whether other people think you're good enough. So they're saying if you need this to believe that this will take bad out of your system, this will aid your system in taking bad out, then yeah, it will help. If you don't already have an immunity, if your body is stressed, but bodies are stressed due to not trusting that everything that happens is in your best interest, and being fearful that if you have something negative in your body, it will take a lot of pain and suffering to get to remove it. Doesn't have to be like that. They're also saying some people choose to leave, and that's just the various illnesses are just their ways of processing things out as they are leaving. So whatever illness you choose, that sounds terrible. Whatever illness a person chooses to exit with, those that die of illnesses, is selected to give them the most processing out of issues so they don't leave with them. Well, not so they don't leave with them. It's just so it's a really fast track opportunity to get rid of all the stuff that they don't need. Since they're going out anyway, they're gonna, soak up all the learning that they can. They're gonna process all the stuff that they can before they go. So we're not talking about those people who choose to exit and who choose to exit on a particular type of illness, like cancer, a certain type of cancer. But for any of us that are basically healthy, really it's just about focusing on positive polarity, not giving in to fear, letting go of anger. They're saying eventually we won't need medicine at all because we'll all understand we'll only develop illnesses that we want to develop, and they will be consciously known that we requested them because they're not necessary. They're not naturally. They don't naturally happen. We create them with our frequency and our fear, basically. Anger and, well, fear. Everything is boiled down to fear. So love and trust each other. And in the meantime, if you feel this will be helpful, try it. The best source is going to be the one that you resonate the highest with. So trust your gut, trust your feeling. When you look at a source and you feel not so great, don't go with that source. Go with a different source that you feel good about. It's the one you feel good about that's going to do the most beneficial healing. And this is true for any type of supplement or medicine. What you trust is what's going to help. Okay, but I like that we're not going to need medicine, and I like that idea of. I'll have to go back and watch because I've already forgotten what they said. Something about frequency. Anyway, that's it. And if I forgot anybody, tell me, because I wrote it down this time, and I checked off every single one. There were 7. So hope you guys are doing great. And if you have any questions or you just want to say hello, send me a message. Till then, have a great week. Bye.